What's up, guys? This is ThePhatBandit. Welcome back to my videos, or I guess welcome back to my videos, or welcome back to YouTube me, or something about me coming back or something. I don't know. How's it going, guys? I have been doing stuff IRL, you know, that whole thing. And now I'm back, and I'm so happy to be playing video games and not being stressed out about stupid things and having a great time with my friends and enjoying life and getting laid all the time, because it's ridiculous the amount of times I get laid per day. Like each day at least 70 times a day. Yeah, I know. You wouldn't think that I would have time for everything, but no, it's I'm really quick, so you know, probably like a couple seconds here and there. 70 times probably equals out to about 10 minutes. So yeah, it all works out that way. Anyways, I'm doing some thumping here with a full squad. I believe this is a full squad, 5 people. Sure, why not? And we are doing a squad thumper. Now I remember telling you guys on my last thumping video that there's all different kinds of thumpers. There's, you know, like the light thumper I think we were doing whenever you saw that video. There's like a personal thumper, which you can do by yourself. There's all kinds of different thumpers. This is a squad thumper, and you know, requires a squad. Me and a friend started doing it by ourselves. Couldn't really get it done, so we had to invite more and more people until now we have a full squad, and this should be pretty much it. Like, we should be able to hold this off if we all are good enough, I guess, and send this back with 100% capacity. So hopefully that works out. We've tried a couple times without a full squad, and we haven't been able to send it back. We had to send it back early just because it was going to get destroyed. So I think this is it, guys. I think we're gonna do it. We're gonna actually do 100% of this damn thumper. So yeah, I wanted to show you guys this, and I also wanted to you know, show you guys this a little bit, and then break away and show you guys the reasoning for thumping, grabbing resources, and all that stuff. And you know, that is crafting and upgrading your weapons and equipment and getting new gear and stuff like that. Not necessarily new gear, just better gear. You upgrade your stuff. So I'll eventually cut away from this and show you guys that. And I don't want to go too much into detail because, you know, first of all, could literally make an entire video just covering that. And also, the knowledge that I have of it isn't very extensive, so I can't really tell you guys every little, you know, bit of information about the crafting of stuff. So, and I don't want to give you guys a lot of wrong information, which will probably be lots of wrong information. You guys are used to my videos by now. I'll give you guys a lot of wrong information. Hey, you know, like that guy from Microsoft said, deal with it. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, deal with it. And so, yeah. But in the meantime, we're doing pretty good. This is actually the best we've done so far. It's at 67% capacity. Usually around this time is when we send it off, because it's like less than 20% or reaching 10% integrity. So this is the best that we've done. This is awesome. I love killing innocent animals. I'm just kidding, guys. I don't love killing innocent animals. God. Some people just read too much into stuff, you know? Just because I'm laying down with a minigun some freaking little critters doesn't mean that I love killing animals in real life. You know? I love torturing them, sure, you know, but that doesn't mean I love killing them. I actually hate when they die because I can't keep torturing them. I'm just kidding. Wow, that's some dark-ass fucking jokes that I'm saying. Anyways, let's keep killing these guys, these virtual guys. I think we're going to do this, guys. I think we're actually going to do this. Motherfucker, stop, stay still. There. Oh god, I feel a sneeze coming on. Huh? Man, the first one was like a warm-up sneeze, and then I did the actual full sneeze. It was awesome. Oh yeah, we're awesome. We just did that. Sweet. I really don't think that they're gonna be able to stop it now. Maybe they are. I don't know. Shit. Alright, well, so I'm gonna cut over and show you guys, whenever I show you guys the crafting stuff, and, you know, try to explain as most basic stuff that I can, and kind of give you guys an idea of what it's all about and what the whole resource gathering stuff is all about. So, all right, guys, I'll show you guys that now. All right, guys, so we're here at the molecular. Well, we're here at Copacabana, and I'm about to walk up to this molecular printer, right? And this is where you go to, use your resources and upgrade your gear and stuff like that. So let's take a look. Now, it's probably going to be overwhelming right when you look at it, or you're probably going to wonder what the hell's going on. There's a lot of options, as you can see, to craft and to make, and then there's like options within those options, and then there's so I don't have crazy knowledge about this, like I said, so I'm just gonna try to give you like a really basic run through of what goes on in here. So the UI, by the way, is still under construction. It's still being worked on, so like don't let this like kind of represent like the final product, because I'm sure it'll look a lot better and be a lot more intuitive or whatever whenever they get it completely done. But you can see up here it says work in progress, so all nano prints are available for testing. So I'm assuming maybe at some point you'll actually have to find these or quest to get these or something. I'm not sure. Or maybe they'll just have them all, available to begin with. I'm not sure. But basically what you have is, I'll give you an example of, for instance, something that I'm crafting right now. So, we have the refining process. These are things that you can refine, to make higher grade resources, and then that gets used into upgrading your gear and stuff like that. And then you obviously have like the options of, or the like, wow, I can't even think of the word. I'm gonna forget another word again while I'm doing a Firefall video. You have the options to make. These are pretty much the things that you get to upgrade or make or craft. So you have thumpers and scanning. So these are the ones that I was talking about. You can actually make, or you can actually craft, like your stock squad thumper. The one that we were using, I think, right then was that one, or the light squad thumper. So I can actually create this right now if I wanted to. I can craft this because I have enough crystite to make this. And that's all that it costs, right? It's crystite. It tells you right down here exactly everything that costs. If I click on something, it'll tell you like this costs, 1,000 crystite plus this and this. And so I have to craft these two, and I have to make sure I have the right resources for these two things. So, and you find these things usually under the subcomponents, things like that, or crystite modules, that kind of stuff. So I can actually make one of these, as I'm actually interested in making. I think I will, because I would like a squad thumper. So I'm going to do that. The way you hit it, the way you craft it, or you hit manufacture, and you have right here your manufacturing queue, and this is your workbench, so to speak. I have 2 empty slots. I can hit manufacture, and he tells me he'll have it turned around in no time, but that's bullshit because it takes about 15 minutes for something like this. Usually it depends on what you're making. Obviously, the higher grade stuff you make, the bigger upgrades that you have on things, the longer it'll take. If you're just refining, raw minerals or raw resources that you've got from thumping, it takes anywhere from, it depends on how many you do. You could fill up, for instance, if I go to refining process and I go to raw resource refining 4, which is the, lets me do up to, as you can see, this lets me do up to 1, this lets me do 2, this lets me do 4, this lets me do 6 at a time. So I can actually queue up 6 raw resources and then hit manufacture, and it'll take about 6 hours to refine all 6 of those. So the wait times, the craft times are dependent on that. So I set this one to craft. It's going to do that. It's going to craft, and in 14 minutes it'll be done, and I'll have that in my inventory, so when I go to put down a squad or a thumper, it'll be there for me. So I'll show you guys something that I'm actually working on right now, and the resources that I was actually trying to gather for this, which is, if you go into, I'll close these out so make it not so confusing. If you go to battleframe equipment, which is what I essentially want, right? I want better gear, better guns, better abilities and stuff that you have. And I go down to Dreadnought, which is the class that I'm kind of working on right now, or upgrading, the battleframe that I'm upgrading. And then you have your, in Dreadnought you have, the sub options are core Dreadnought, and then these are like the tier 2 Dreadnought battleframes, which are a Mammoth and a Rhino, and then you have Dreadnought plating. So right now I only have the core Dreadnought. Open that up, And then under there, it gives me all the ones that I'm able to upgrade, all the abilities and stuff that I'm able to upgrade. Resilient plating, heavy armor, repulsor blast, which is that one that I use when he blasts everybody away. The mortar, which is that gun that it's like a, a grenade launcher type thing. My machine gun, which is clearly the machine gun that I use, and some other abilities and stuff. So right now, I want to upgrade my repulsor blast. I have repulsor blast 1, which is like the next tier above the default one, and I want to get repulsor blast 2. So with repulsor blast 2, what you have to do is you have to make, this is the repulsor blast 2, and it tells you right here exactly what you need to make the repulsor, the actual, the actual product or the actual thing, the actual item, right? Which is you need a blast amplifier, you need a blast unit, and you need a blast timing control. So when you go to these actual, so if I, when I saw that this was red, I clicked on blast amplifier. Okay, well, what does the blast amplifier need? It needs this. Okay, I had enough of that, so I manufactured it, and I have one. Blast timing control, what did I need? I needed both of these. Okay, I had to go find these in the sub components, and basic boost unit would be right here. What do I need for that? Well, I need that and a basic seed crystite module. Where do I find the basic seed crystite module? Well, that is under, I know it gets a little confusing, right? Right here under crystite module. This is stuff that is made pretty much strictly, or at least this is made pretty much strictly out of crystites, right? So, and so yeah, you can see I pretty much made that. Seed crystite hybrid is this, and yeah, and then that's what lets me make a a blast timing control and a blast unit. And once I have all that, I can actually make the repulsor blast itself. So right now I need a blast unit too. That's what I need. That's what I'm working on. And for that I need a basic plasma core, which I have because it's green, and a basic fusion shielding, which I don't have because it's not green. It's red, and it says right here 0 out of 1. So basic fusion shielding is under subcomponents. I go and try to find it. Basic fusion shielding. Sorry, shielding. I don't know why I keep saying that. Basic fusion shielding. Okay, I don't have. It's not green, which means that like if it's green, means I have the available resources for right then and there. For the fusion shielding, I don't have it. What do I need? A basic seed crystite module. Hey, I just showed you guys that. Crazy how this works out. I didn't plan this or anything. Oh, what? Go here, and I have enough for it. I have enough crystites for it. I hit, manufacture, and it does it. So in 6 minutes and 36 seconds or so, it's going to be ready for me. Once that is done, blast unit, I'll have enough for these. I'll be able to make that, and if I go here, you'll see that that is the last thing that I need to actually make my repulsor blast tier 2. With your repulsor blast tier 2, you can actually see, you can go and compare the two whenever you go and outfit it, and see what kind of advantages it gives you and disadvantages and that kind of stuff. So so what I'll do is I'll wait till this is done crafting, and I'll pick it up then. I'll pick up the video then, and I'll kind of show you guys the all the tiers of repulsor blast, because I'll have the default one, blast 1, and repulsor blast 2. So yeah, all right, I'll be with you guys in 1 sec. And just like that, through the magic of video editing and bullshit technology, that was a second for you, but it took about 6 minutes for me. So now it's done. The basic seed crystite module, I get to grab that, and I go back to find the basic fusion shielding, which is under subcomponents. And as you can see, all of these have now highlighted green because they all pretty much required the basic whatever the fuck thing that I just made. So if I go find fusion shielding, here it is, manufactured. That's going to take me 16 minutes. Alright guys, I will see you guys in a second, aka for me, 16 minutes. Fuck. Alright guys, so I am done crafting the repulsor blast 2 and everything that comes along with that. Waited for about, I would say the entire process took about an hour and a half-ish, 2 hours, because I had to make all the subcomponents to make the components that make up the entire repulsor blast. So I had to wait for those things to craft, and then craft, those entire components, and then craft the entire thing together, which took about 30 minutes itself. So, but now it's all completely done. And the way you equip things is you go over here. Now I won't be able to equip this because this is tier 2, and I don't have a tier 2 battle frame, right? So I'm on my Accord battle, that's like your default battle frame. And this is like tier 1 basically. Until I'm able to upgrade to a tier 2 battle frame, which I'll show you guys that in this this little menu right here, which by the way, this is called the battleframe garage. Until I have a tier 2 frame, I can't really equip my tier 2 stuff. So I pretty much just made that just to have it in the future, and it's something that I knew I would probably the first thing that I would craft as soon as I get a tier 2 frame anyways. So I went ahead and you know, crafted it. So and pretty much everything else that I have on this, I don't think that I'll upgrade too many other things. Maybe my jump jets, but I don't know. Either way. So here's your battleframe garage, and if you want to go to equip something, you'll go into here, and you'll hit his chest plate. His chest plate is pretty much his body, his main, you know, abilities, his passive module, his HKM, which is the mortar thing that I think I showed you guys, basically like a grenade launcher thing that I have. And these right here directly correspond to what's going on right in the bottom of your screen, right here. So, you know, 1 is the explosive modules, or explosive rounds. 2 is a heavy armor. 3 is the repulsor blast, the thing that I just got a tier 2 of. HKM, or my accord mortar strike, which is basically that freaking grenade launcher, and then any call downs that you have equipped right now. So those directly affect those. Now it obviously doesn't affect the call down because that's separate than this. It's not affected by your frame. So if we go to ability 1, for instance, I have my just standard explosive rounds, right? I don't have the tier 1 for that, or the tier 2. Obviously, if I don't have tier 1, I'm not gonna get tier 2. But I don't have an upgrade for that. You know, I just have that. That's something that I don't really use that often. Therefore, I felt like I don't really need to upgrade it. Ability 2, we go here, heavy armor 1. So this means that it's in the first tier, right? If it says anything and then a number, that means that it's been upgraded. The original one is this right here, the stock heavy armor. And as you can see, it does a side-by-side comparison of what's better, what's worse. Some things are worse in terms of like maybe it takes a little bit longer to reload or recharge, but you end up doing more damage and that kind of thing. So there's your play-by-play comparison. And the things right on the bottom that says requirements, I'll go over this real quick. The things on the bottom that says requirements, cores, power, and mass, are this. This is where you go to upgrade basically your suit in terms of, I guess it would be like your frame attributes, or your frame characteristics, probably your attributes, right? So you have 3 main attributes, and the first one is mass. This is the amount of stuff that you can, you know, have on your frame in terms of like maybe you have like, you know, a really upgraded gun and a really upgraded secondary gun. You can have as many things as you want on this upgraded, and it won't affect your mobility, right? So the more mass you have, the more mobility you have with more stuff. So then we have our power, which is power is pretty straightforward. It gives you, you know, you're able to hit harder. You're able to put out more output as far as like damage and stuff like that. CPU is your cores. So with this, it's if we click on, for instance, let's go to like ability 2. You see right here it says requirements, cores, 2. You need at least 2 cores to be able to have this, okay? And that's just for this. Then it requires 24 power and it requires 78 mass. And each one of these gives you more and more mass. To be honest with you, I don't even know where you can see exactly what I have as far as like mass, power. I think you just click on this. No, I don't know. But either way, you have these attributes, and that is pretty much what directly affects how many things you can have and what kind of things you can have and how upgraded they can be and all that kind of stuff. So with that being said, that's pretty much it with the battleframe garage. I think you can do some paint stuff here. I did like a really lame-o paint shop because I didn't feel like getting any of the crazy cosmetic looking upgrades. You pretty much have to pay for those. And yeah, some of them look really cool, but I guess I'll go ahead and show you guys. But I don't really care, to be honest with you. You have like a leopard one. You have this kind of stuff, and it's kind of weird because I have like a red color on me right now. Discard because I don't want it. But yeah, and then you get to have some, I don't know, decals, some bodysuit patterns, some frame war paint. That's pretty crazy. Green, whatever. And then you get weird stuff like that. Pink, of course. You know, so there's some basically pre-painted ones or whatever that you can get. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Actually, let me cancel this and show you guys one more thing. Discard. And so this is, like I said, this is my tier 1, or yeah, my default tier 1 battle frame. So right down here you can see like this is going to be affecting, I'm working on my core dreadnought. This is going to be working on the assault, biotech, your engineer, and your recon. And then this is when you start getting into the tier 2 stuff. Nighthawk, that's the tier 2 sniper from what I can kind of tell. I don't really know, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that a huge sniper rifle in his hands means that. The Rhino is a dreadnought tier 2, and so is the Mammoth. So these both are my tier 2, are the dreadnought tier 2 frames. And how do you get these frames? Well, you either pay for them by purchasing red beans, which are like the in-game currency, like to real money value like type of thing, or you can do these pilot tokens, and you get these pilot tokens by, if you go back to my core dreadnought frame, upgrading your frame by adding more CPU power or mass. And I think on this one, which was the 5th one in, you get 1 each. So right now I have 3, as you can see right down here. And I'll get another one in 2, and another one in 2, and then the last one in 1. So overall I can get to 10 tokens in pretty much one frame if I wanted to, but I'll probably switch to another frame and get another 3, that'll be 6, then another 3 on another frame, that'll be 9, and then 1 more on a different frame, because I can do as many frames as I want, right? So I can come here and just upgrade this till I get 3, upgrade this till I get 3, and get 10 pilot tokens, and then go over and grab my tier 2 Mammoth or Rhino, whatever it is I want. So it's pretty much how that works, guys. I wanted to give you like I said, a very basic overview. You could probably get even more in depth into all this stuff, and you can ask anybody else in the forums or whatever, any kind of information that you guys want. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you didn't, well then too bad. You sat through all of it if you're hearing me right now, and that kind of sucks for you because you've just spent, I don't even know how long this video is, amount of time hating on it. So, alright guys, this has been the Fat Bandit, and don't forget to subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and I will check you guys later.